So Michael Cohen's legal advisor, a guy by the name of Robert Costello, actually testified in Congress about Michael Cohen. So Robert Costello has some pretty interesting things to say about Michael Cohen. Being his legal advisor, seems that he has 200 to 300 emails all about Michael Cohen and the way he was. So he's got a lot to say about him, and I thought this clip would be very interesting. It's very telling. And this is so up to date. You're not going to believe what this guy has to say. This is absolutely crazy. But to be expected from the left to hire someone like this to go against one of the greatest presidents ever.
Judges on the bench. Merchana's in there. We're getting our emails from our producers and reporters inside the courtroom. And he greets the parties, asks if there is anything need to talk about, anything regarding scheduling. Todd Blanche, the attorney for President Trump, asked to approach, and they are now having a sidebar. With that, let's bring in a former legal advisor to Michael Cohen. His name is Robert Costello. He represented Cohen at the start of the federal investigation and has been released from his attorney-client confidentiality agreement, hence the reason why you're able to talk to us. And, sir, thank you for your time today, and we watched you before Congress yesterday, and that was something else. This is part of what you had said to Congress yesterday. You said Cohen told you, "I swear to God, Bob, I don't have anything on Donald Trump." Now you test.
Okay. Just let me walk through this slowly. I just want to make sure, because I know that sometimes when I'm watching news clips, I don't pay attention. Okay. He literally is saying, "I swear to God, Bob, I don't have anything on Donald Trump." This is from the start. I have it on Wednesday. Guys, he doesn't have anything. Okay. We all know this is all a sham. It's lawfare. So right off the bat, that's what he's saying. This guy is actually suicidal. And I want you to hear what he has to say here.
Testified before Alvin Bragg's grand jury. Did you tell them what you told Congress yesterday?
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, because before I testified on a Monday before the grand jury, I gave Alvin Bragg's assistant DAs the courtesy of about an hour and a half Zoom conference where I told them all of the exculpatory material that I had that they were supposed to put before the grand jury. But when I appeared before the grand jury, they were asking me questions that, in my opinion, and I've been a federal prosecutor myself, I was deputy chief of the criminal division in the Southern District of New York. Those questions they were asking me were not going to elicit the exculpatory information that I had.
So he presents this. First of all, he gives Alvin Bragg a chance to hear, which probably was, I don't think, maybe he had to actually show them or tell them about the evidence that he was wanting to submit. If that wasn't legal, I wouldn't have done that. But for some reason, I guess he felt like he had to do that, or he gave them, like he said, I guess he didn't have to do that, but he did. So what he's saying is, once he did that, and then he actually got in front of the jury, they flipped the script on him and said, you're not going to be able to submit all this evidence. They cherry picked. You're going to hear him say this. They actually cherry picked what he could submit to the jurors and what he couldn't. So they got to choose. Set up, bro. They want to set this whole thing up against Trump. That's crazy.
So I began to expand upon my answers, and the DA's office was trying to shut me down, saying that I had finished my answer. And I told them that when I'm in the middle of answering a question, I'll decide when I've finished my answer.
Ooh.
And I asked them not to interrupt me again. But basically, they only put in a small cherry-picked group of emails. I presented maybe 200 to 300 emails and text messages to them.
So over from 200 to 300 emails and text messages of Michael Cohen talking reckless, okay, that he wanted to show the jurors so it could help them make a decision about who this guy actually is that the DA has put forward to be a witness against Trump. They wouldn't let him do that. So why would they do that? Because they're trying to hide something. Okay, always when these people are trying to go after Trump, they always try to hide something, but it gets revealed as soon as they try to hide it.
I had them with me, luckily, in chronological order. They put 2 or 3 into evidence. I asked them, "Are you going to put the rest of them into evidence?" And they said no. And I said, "Remember, there's a court reporter there." I said, "Why not?" They said, "There's a legal issue with him." I said, "What's the legal issue?" And he said, "Hearsay." Now, first of all, hearsay is admissible in the grand jury, so that's really not an objection. But I played along with him, and I said, "Hearsay? Well, then pay close attention to the next 2 sentences."
See, people who don't follow the law or do things legally, guess what? They don't understand the law, okay? There was a legal issue with his evidence all of a sudden. Come on, bro. They have nothing on Trump and they know it. They're just, you see, what you're seeing right now is lawfare, and you're seeing them make up things about Trump.
I said, these documents were made in the regular course of business, and it was the regular course of business to make and maintain documents such as these at or about the dates indicated. I said, now you know, and I know, but the grand jurors don't know. That makes these documents business records. And you know, and I know, but the grand jurors don't know that business records are an exception to the hearsay rule.
See how he has to talk? See, because the jury, those are just regular people, okay? They don't understand all this technical law. They don't understand the technical parts of the law. But he's talking to the DA and he's talking to them a little bit different than he would talk to the jurors, because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Okay, so he has to kind of talk directly to them, almost like in a parable or something. Like he's just, they know what they're doing. He knows that they know what they're doing. They know that he knows that they know what he's doing. Does that make sense?
So are you going to put the rest of the documents into evidence? And they indicated most likely no. So I simply said to the grand jurors, I said, you people should demand these documents. You should demand to see everything in chronological order.
Boom.
So you get a real view of what Michael Cohen was like in those days at that moment in time. I said, and then ask yourself this question. Why are they trying to keep these documents from me?
Perfect. That's great. So the jurors, so he's talking directly to the jurors now. Look, let me talk to them so that they can understand. You have to ask yourself, why don't they want these in? You guys should demand these records here. That's what he's telling the jurors. You should demand these records. So it goes on record that he actually said this, which is great. And then he said, you got to ask yourself, why on earth would Alvin Bragg's team, why on earth would the DA not want these records in? Why? Because it's going to destroy the case. Okay. Once they get a whiff of who Michael Cohen really is, once they see who he really is, and you can reveal that through all the emails and text messages. You want to know somebody? Oh, pick up their phone and look at the text messages. 200 to 300 text messages. Oh, they'll get the picture real fast about who Michael Cohen really is. Okay. And how much of a liar he has been. All right. Just like all the rest of these people.
Well, after that, I left the grand jury. I have no idea whether they put the documents into evidence or what happened, but subsequently Donald Trump was indicted. And you've seen the fruits of that indictment in this trial, which is a trial about something that's not a crime. When I met with Michael Cohen on the first day at the Regency Hotel when he was suicidal by his own admission, I explained to him non-disclosure agreements, NDAs as he was calling them, I said are perfectly legal. Because he kept on saying, why are they trying to put me in jail for an NDA? And I explained to him, that's not why they're trying to put you in jail. Obviously, they think you've done other things. What are they? He denied having done anything else. I didn't do anything illegal. I'm cooperating with the special counsel. I'm cooperating with Congress. Of course, he forgot to tell us that he lied to Congress. But he was desperately seeking, according to his own words, an escape route. I want you guys to tell me how I can get out of this, because he saw these enormous legal problems coming his way. They were so bad in his mind that he was willing to kill himself. And so I kept on going.
Did you guys catch that? So his legal issues, Michael Cohen's legal issues. Now, this guy is a legal advisor of Michael Cohen. He used to be. His legal problems apparently was so bad that he wanted to kill himself. What kind of man is killing himself over some legal stuff? See, when you lie, especially on someone who hasn't done anything wrong, okay, this is all Michael Cohen made all this up, okay? Trump didn't want to hire Michael Cohen. He knew what kind of person he was. So, Trump goes in to be president, Michael Cohen doesn't have a position. Well, Michael Cohen actually wanted to make it look like he was helping Trump out. So he paid the $100 and something thousand to quiet Stormy Daniels for something that Trump didn't even do. Okay, so I want you guys to understand. So he paid that. He actually went in to some sort of loan company to get the money behind his wife's back so his wife wouldn't know about it. Okay, I wouldn't spend $100,000 if my wife didn't know about it. First of all, I'm going to spend money. First of all, why is your wife in charge of all your accounts? That's crazy. But that's a different story. Okay, so he's got to hide this from his wife. Okay, not telling her what's going on. Take out the loan money because he doesn't want anybody to know. Trump doesn't know anything about what he's doing, but he thinks that he's doing a good favor to Trump, and this will buy him into the White House because he, covered this thing up. In Trump's mind, he didn't do anything wrong. Why should he have to pay this money if he didn't do anything wrong? But Trump apparently, or Michael Cohen apparently got paid back. That's a slime ball move. Okay, that's not how you get into a high position. You get into a high position by, doing honorable things, having integrity, that kind of stuff.
Going back and suggesting to him, listen, Michael, if you have something truthful on Donald Trump, now is the time to cooperate. And he kept on saying over and over again, 10 to 20 times, I swear to God, Bob, I don't have anything on Donald Trump. I even said to him, Michael, think about this. Isn't it easier to cooperate against Donald Trump if you have truthful information than it is to kill yourself? Well, the answer is obvious. That was his moment in time. If he had something truthful to say, I'm willing to cooperate. But he didn't take that. He kept on saying, I have nothing on Donald Trump. And then when we got into the discussion of the Stormy Daniels NDA, he said specifically, and I cross-examined him on this was my idea. It was his idea to take care of the NDA because he had been contacted by a lawyer for Stormy Daniels who said she was going to claim that Donald.
Now, the next stupid thing that the mainstream media will probably say is Trump paid this man to take a hit for him or something. Nobody would do this, bro. Okay? All right? Nobody would just, make all this up, get himself into all kinds of trouble, want to kill himself if somebody paid him. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he got himself into trouble because he lied. He thought he was doing something noble by helping Trump out. But apparently he had egg on his face because he shouldn't have done that in the first place. Okay? And then once he found out what he did was wrong and it didn't get him a position, then he got mad. He says, I'm angry that Trump did after all I did for him. This is how New York people are, people in liberal cities. Can you believe what I did for you? And I can't believe you can't. How dare you? So in order to, cool this guy off, just pay him the money back that he, put up because I guess he thought it was a nice thing to do, but it wasn't. It was stupid. It was a stupid thing to do. Okay. He should have got advice from Trump on it. That's what he should have done. But I, as a strong man, I would have been like, man, if I didn't do anything, why would I pay somebody? Okay. So it was stupid. All right. So he did something stupid. He felt bad about doing stupid stuff. And it makes sense now that you can hear the whole story of why this guy is suicidal, and another thing, I'm not advocating that Michael Cohen should kill himself or something like that. No, I don't want to see that happen. No one wants to see that happen, but this is just disgusting to do that. It's absolutely crazy.
Trump had sex with her. Cohen said, I didn't believe the allegation, but nevertheless, it would be embarrassing to Melania. That's Michael Cohen's words. He said, and so I decided to take care of this myself. Now, he took out a home equity loan for $130,000 and used that. And he did tell us that he got repaid later. We didn't get into the details of that because that was not what we were focused on at the moment. We were trying to figure out what was Michael Cohen going to be charged with by the Southern District of New York. And then, as you know, ultimately, he pled guilty to 8 counts, 7 of which had nothing to do with Donald Trump. And then after that, he attempted to...
He pled guilty to 8 counts. Man, you know, in a world of just foolish people, man, like you can't, it's so, I guess, easy or, you know, to hire the wrong people and to let people in that shouldn't be there in the first place, let people in your circle. You got to be very careful. And you learn a lesson from that over the years. Stop letting people come into your life that are going to because their lives are screwed up. They're far away from God. They're screwed up. You know, they can then drag you into something. That's a really bad deal. But, you know, I'm glad that Trump didn't get dragged into this. So Trump's going to win this case. Okay? It shouldn't have been brought in the first place. Like Alina Habba said, none of these cases should have been brought on Trump. Not even one of them. So all the people running around talking about Trump's getting locked up, you got 91 counts in, they have no idea what they're talking about. They're too lazy to actually sit here and listen to what's going on. All right, they're just whatever the mainstream media tells them, that's what they're going to believe. But we're doing the due diligence here. We're doing the research and trying to figure out and pick this apart. We're taking notes. And we're watching very closely for the people who aren't, so we can explain it to you in a basic way. Because the news media doesn't always talk like it's like they're talking to regular people. All right.
Cooperate by telling fibs to the U.S. Attorney's Office that Rudy Giuliani and I conspired basically to obstruct justice and tamper with a witness, the witness being Michael Cohen. With all these emails and text messages that I had.
By the way, one more thing. He mentioned Rudy Giuliani because he's involved in all this as well, of course, being one of Trump's close associates. Now, I don't know if you all know about Rudy Giuliani when he was the governor of New York. I'm sorry, he was the mayor of New York. Rudy Giuliani is responsible, you can look this up, for driving the actual mafia out of New York. Okay, people were terrified of Giuliani. Why? Because he was just courageous. He was courageous. He wanted clean streets. He wanted criminals off of the streets. Same thing we want right now. See how hard you got to fight to get criminals off the streets? You have to break their systems. So all this is for a reason. They don't realize that they're exposing how wicked they really are by bringing these cases against Trump. It exposes the living daylights out of them. It shows you exactly what the streets are like because the courts are like this. So they're bringing crazy cases to Trump. So to show the whole entire world gets to see how our court system works because of this. And if you're paying really close attention, you know that this is absolute bull crap. Okay? That's exactly what it is. It's absolute bull crap.
It was absolutely clear that there was no truth whatsoever to that. So the U.S. attorney said to Michael Cohen, in order for us to investigate this, you have to waive the attorney-client privilege. And that's what he did. And when they called me up and presented me with the waiver, I then gave them the documents they requested. I went down and I was interviewed for a couple of hours with 2 AUSAs and 2 FBI agents. At the end of that interview, everybody was laughing because I showed how ludicrous the accusation was. And they being the Southern District of New York, never used Michael Cohen again. They didn't indict Donald Trump for anything, and they never used Michael Cohen, and they didn't give him any credit for his cooperation. That's a lesson that the Manhattan DA's office should have learned, but they haven't learned it yet.
One of the things I found so interesting about what you just said, amongst many, is that the grand jury didn't get to hear some of the things that you thought they should hear. And for all of us listening to you now, it's like, wow, the jury should probably hear this. And I wonder, have you been subpoenaed by the defense? Do you think you will be called to testify in New York at this trial?
He should be. He should be called to testify by the defense, by Trump's team. They should call him in so he can give some of the testimony about the evidence that he has about the 200 to 300 emails and text messages, because that's how you nail this. All right, that's how you nail this. Remember the Fonnie Willis case? That's why Nathan Wade got kicked off the Fonnie Willis case, because of those text messages. All right. So people don't realize that all their records have been, it's all been recorded. Somebody can subpoena those from the phone company. Easy. Okay, so that's why they're fighting. So yeah, he should have a chance to show that evidence, or to at least go on the stand.
I have not been subpoenaed. Whether I will be called to testify, it hasn't been decided yet. It probably depends a lot on what's going to happen today in court, and then what would happen on redirect by the district attorney's office. I mean, if I were in Todd Blanche's shoes, that's the analysis I would make. But,
If you were in Todd Blanche's shoes, would you call you to testify?
Yes, because I'm a reliable person.
Yeah, so all these cases are going to fall apart because they've been bought, and we still haven't heard the charges that they're trying to bring against Trump. Like, there's still no charges. They're trying to find something as they go along, and it's just stupid. All right, they're not going to find anything because there's nothing there. But Michael Cohen, yeah, he belongs in jail. So you can't babysit your attorney. Shouldn't have to. He should be doing the right thing as a man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. You guys like, share, and subscribe. This has been Andre. Yup, I said it. Thank you.